The weight you were never meant to carry. There is a hidden exhaustion inside modern men, a deep emotional fatigue that sleep cannot fix. Because the problem is not physical, it is mental. You wake up thinking about things you cannot control. People who changed, situations that hurt you, conversations that replay endlessly inside your mind. You try to predict every outcome so you never feel pain again. You try to control people so they never disappoint you again. But the harder you hold on to life, the more life slips through your fingers. And slowly, your mind becomes heavy. The Stoics understood this suffering thousands of years ago. They knew that peace disappears the moment a man becomes emotionally attached to things outside his control. The truth is simple, but painful. You cannot control the world. You cannot control people. You cannot control time. But you can control your response. And that is where your true power begins. The prison of overthinking. Most suffering is created long before reality even arrives. The human mind has a dangerous habit. It creates imaginary pain. You replay old memories. You imagine future disasters. You overanalyze every word someone said. And while your body sits in silence, your mind fights invisible battles all day long. Overthinking is not intelligence. It is often fear disguised as preparation. The Stoic man understands this. He understands that endless thinking cannot change reality. It only steals peace from the present moment. Some battles are won not by thinking more, but by finally letting go. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius ruled one of the most powerful empires in history, yet even he reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Imagine the strength behind those words. Even an emperor understood that external control is an illusion. Money cannot control fate. Power cannot stop loss. Status cannot prevent pain. Everything external can disappear overnight. That is why Stoicism focuses inward. Because inner control is the only control life truly gives you. A disciplined mind remains calm while everything outside changes. And that calmness becomes a form of silent power few people ever achieve. Why attachment creates suffering? Attachment itself is not the enemy. Blind attachment is. The moment your happiness depends completely on another person, you become emotionally fragile. The moment your self-worth depends on praise, you become weak before criticism. The moment your peace depends on perfect circumstances, life begins controlling you. The Stoics never said you should avoid love, success, or ambition. They simply warned against depending on them emotionally. Because everything outside you is temporary. People change. Relationships end. Success fades. Beauty ages. Life moves constantly. And if your identity is built only on temporary things, your peace will always remain temporary too. Detachment is strength, not weakness. Many people hear the word detachment and imagine coldness. They imagine someone emotionless and distant. But real Stoic detachment is different. It is the ability to feel emotions without becoming controlled by them. It is loving deeply while accepting that nothing lasts forever. It is caring without becoming emotionally dependent. It is remaining calm even when life refuses to go your way. That is not weakness. That is emotional mastery. Weak people are controlled by every emotion they feel. Strong people observe emotions without allowing emotions to rule them. This is sculpted grace, a calm mind, a controlled heart, a disciplined soul.
The addiction to control. Control can become an addiction nobody talks about. You constantly check your phone. You seek reassurance. You replay conversations trying to fix them in your head. You become obsessed with controlling outcomes because uncertainty terrifies you. But uncertainty is part of life itself. No amount of overthinking can guarantee tomorrow. No amount of stress can force people to stay. No amount of fear can stop change from coming. The Stoic accepts uncertainty instead of fighting it. And strangely, the moment you stop trying to control everything, your mind finally begins to breathe again. Let them leave. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning to let people leave. Some people will outgrow you. Some will betray you. Some will forget your loyalty completely. And your instinct will be to chase answers, to seek closure, to force understanding. But Stoicism teaches something deeper. Not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some people are lessons. Some are blessings. Some are warnings. A wise man does not beg for loyalty. He observes actions quietly and moves forward with dignity. Because peace is more valuable than attachment. Epictetus and inner freedom. Epictetus taught one of the most life-changing truths in Stoicism. Some things are within your control, and some things are not. Simple words, but most people spend their entire lives misunderstanding them. You control your mindset, your choices, your discipline, your actions. But you cannot control whether people appreciate your loyalty. You cannot control betrayal. You cannot control how others speak about you behind closed doors outside your eyes. And the more you try to control these things, the more anxiety enters your soul. Most emotional suffering comes from carrying responsibilities that were never yours. You lose sleep trying to manage the opinions of others. You become emotionally drained trying to force outcomes life never promised you. But Stoicism teaches release. Release the need to control everything. Release the obsession with certainty. Release the illusion that peace comes from controlling the world. Because real peace comes from mastering yourself. The moment you stop chasing control over external things, your mind becomes lighter. Your breathing slows. Your thoughts become calmer. And for the first time in a long time, you feel free. True freedom is not controlling life. True freedom is no longer being controlled by life.
Stop seeking validation. One of the greatest emotional traps in modern life is the need for validation. People change themselves just to be accepted. They hide their true personality to avoid rejection. They become addicted to praise, attention, and approval. And slowly, without noticing, they lose themselves completely. The Stoic man understands something dangerous about validation. The moment your happiness depends on other people's approval, your peace is no longer yours. Today, people praise you. Tomorrow, they criticize you. One moment they support you. The next moment, they disappear. Human opinions change like the wind. So why build your self-worth on something so unstable? A strong man
does not need applause to believe in himself. He does not beg to be understood by everyone. He does not waste his life performing for the crowd. Instead, he focuses quietly on becoming stronger internally. He builds discipline when nobody is watching. He develops character in silence. He respects himself even when the world overlooks him. Because real confidence is internal. It does not depend on attention. It does not depend on followers, praise, or approval. And the moment you stop seeking validation, you become emotionally dangerous in the best possible way. Because now, the world can no longer control your emotions through acceptance or rejection.
Silence is a form of power. There is a type of strength that speaks loudly, without saying anything at all. Silence. Not weak silence, not fearful silence, but controlled silence. The silence of a man who has mastered his emotions. Most people react instantly to everything, every insult, every disagreement, every moment of disrespect. They explode emotionally because they have never learned self-control. But the Stoic man is different. He understands that emotional reactions often give away power. The moment someone can control your emotions, they begin controlling you. So he pauses before speaking. He observes before reacting. He stays calm while others lose control. And that calmness becomes intimidating. Because emotional discipline is rare. Anyone can shout. Anyone can become angry. Anyone can react emotionally. But remaining calm under pressure, that is strength. Sometimes silence protects your peace more than words ever could. Not every argument deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves your response. Not every battle deserves your energy. Wise men choose peace over pointless conflict. And in a loud world filled with emotional chaos, the calm man becomes powerful beyond measure.
The temporary nature of life. Everything you love is temporary. This truth sounds painful at first, but it can also become liberating. Because once you accept impermanence, you stop clinging desperately to everything. You appreciate moments more deeply. You become grateful instead of entitled. The Stoics reflected often on mortality, not to become depressed, but to become awake. Life becomes more beautiful when you realize it cannot last forever. Emotional discipline. Most people are controlled entirely by emotion. If they feel anger, they explode. If they feel sadness, they collapse. If they feel fear, they stop moving forward. But Stoicism teaches emotional discipline, not suppression, mastery. A disciplined man can feel pain without losing direction. He can feel anger without becoming destructive. He can feel pressure without breaking apart mentally. That level of control changes everything. Protect your inner peace. Your peace is valuable. Protect it carefully. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Not every conversation deserves your emotional energy. Some people bring only drama, negativity, and chaos into your life. The Stoic learns to create boundaries, not from hatred, but from wisdom. Because inner peace is difficult to build and easy to destroy.
Solitude builds strong men. There is something powerful about solitude. Not loneliness, solitude. The quiet place where distractions disappear and truth becomes clear. In solitude, a man confronts himself honestly, his fears, his weaknesses, his purpose. And slowly, he stops depending on the outside world for identity. This is where real strength is built, silently. The mind must be trained daily. Peace is not automatic. The mind must be trained every single day. Just like the body becomes weak without exercise, the mind becomes weak without discipline. Feed your mind wisdom instead of chaos. Feed it calmness instead of fear. Feed it purpose instead of distraction. Because whatever controls your mind eventually controls your life. Accept what you cannot change. Some things cannot be fixed. Some endings are final. Some losses cannot be reversed. Some answers will never come. And the more you resist reality, the more you suffer. Acceptance is not surrender. It is clarity. It is understanding that fighting reality only creates more pain. The Stoic accepts life fully, both its beauty and its cruelty. Calmness is a superpower. A calm man is difficult to manipulate. He does not panic easily. He does not react instantly. He does not lose himself emotionally under pressure on emotions. His calmness becomes his weapon. And in a world where most people are controlled by emotion, a calm mind becomes incredibly powerful.
Stop chasing what runs away. The more desperately you chase certain things, the more they seem to escape you. Love, validation, attention, control. Desperation pushes peace away. The Stoic understands that forcing life creates suffering. Instead, he focuses on becoming stronger internally. And what belongs to him naturally stays. Part 19. Conquer yourself first. Most people want to conquer the world before conquering themselves. But self-mastery comes first. Control your habits. Control your reactions. Control your thoughts. Because a man who cannot control himself will always be controlled by something else. Fear, emotion, addiction, or other people. The greatest victory is inner victory. Part 20. The final truth. At the end of life, you will realize something important. You were never meant to control everything. You were only meant to control yourself, your character, your mindset, your response to life. So release what drains your soul. Detach from the chaos you cannot change. Stop carrying emotional burdens that were never yours. Walk quietly. Think deeply. Remain disciplined. Protect your peace. Because the man who masters himself becomes free.